Hello students, today we are going to start with our fifth lesson, which is the last unit in your employability skills, standard 10. So students, the name of the lesson is green skills. Green skills means the skills which are required to keep our environment green. So for that purpose we need to have few sustainable practices. We need to adopt few procedures so that we take care of our environment, we do not harm it, and we also satisfy our needs. Such kind of developments are called as sustainable development. So in this lesson basically we are going to see what are the sustainable methods to keep our environment green and what methods we can adopt that we have to think upon. So let us go to the introduction of the lesson. The environment around us affects all aspects of our life, and all our day-to-day activities also affect the environment. So environment is affecting us and we are affecting the environment. Those who live in cities get their food supply from surrounding villages and in turn are dependent on forests, grasslands, rivers, seashores for resources such as water, fuel, wood, fodder, etc. So what is it meaning? That the people who are living in cities, ultimately they are dependent on the villages nearby to that city, because in cities we do not have agricultural land. We cannot make our living with the help of animals like the sheep or the cow. We don't have that much place so that we can keep them in a happy manner. So whatever milk supplies, whatever vegetable supplies, whatever supplies they are getting, most of the supplies they are getting from the villages around those cities, and because of that they are dependent on the forests, grasslands and rivers and various resources in the villages. We use natural resources for food. Yes, do you agree with this? May it be vegetarian or non-vegetarian, but ultimately our resource is a natural resource. Everything around us forms our environment and our lives depend on the natural world around us. So everything around us, whatever is there, that forms our environment, the trees, the animals, the air, the water, the pollution also. So our life depends on the natural world around us. Over the years, with economic development, there has been an increase in environmental pollution. We all are aware of this. Over the years, as we are growing economically, as a country in India, we are seeing lot of economic development. We are having increase in the number of educated people who are able to get a living for themselves. I mean, they are able to get a job, or they are able to start a living for themselves by starting a business. But with increase in all the developments, may it be economical or as a human being also, but there is increase in environmental pollution because of our activities. For example, with the introduction of high input agriculture, we can grow more food by using fertilizers, pesticides and hybrid crops, but it has led to soil and environmental degradation. We need to plan the use of resources in a sustainable manner so that we and our future generations can enjoy the good environment. So whatever natural resources we are using, if we want our future generations to also use these resources in the way or in a better way than we are using, then we will have to have a plan to make these resources available to them. Our behavior should be sustainable to the nature. So let us start with the session 1, sustainable development. Are we planting more trees or are we only destroying them for our use? Yes. Now here comes the question about the balance of our environment. Is it equal to the number of trees which we cut and the number of trees which we are planting? Are they in proportion? Are they in balance? Are they in harmony? I would say no, because for the purpose of civilization lots of forests are destroyed, and compared to that we are not planting those many plants. So we are taking so much from the nature, but are we giving it back? That is the question which remains. So are we planting more trees or are we only destroying them for our use? Are we saving the water resources or just polluting them with garbage? So are we saving the water resources? Are we using it properly or we are polluting it with garbage? For example, in this pandemic situation, lot of people are using the use and throw masks. So do we have any protocol how to destroy that wastage? Do we have any method like where it should go? The people are in confused state, and which is not a good sign. So we should think about buying something before buying, like what I will do with this material once it is worn out. We should only buy those things which can be degraded. We should be able to use it properly for a long time, and then if it wears out, we should be able to degrade it. There are many beautiful examples in this lesson, small though, but you will get a glimpse of how we should change our thinking patterns. So now, are we using clean energy or are we burning wood and petrol and adding to pollution? So these are very pinpointing questions. We are also burning wood, we are also using petrol, lot of petrol is used up, diesel and petrol, fossil fuels, and we are actually adding to lot of pollution. There is no question, yes, we are definitely adding to the pollution, but what measures can we take or we should plan to take so that we do not add to the pollution and we should get our environment in the harmony so that our future generations should have a sustainable lifestyle? Are we giving back to nature so that our future generations may thrive, or are we simply using the air, water and soil available without leaving anything for the future generations to come? Yes. So this is the question we should have at the back of our mind whenever we do something in the nature. If the answer to all these questions is yes, then we only thinking about our immediate development and not the long-term development. So if we are only thinking about these things and if the answer is yes, then it tells us that this is not the sustainable development of our civilized society. It is a signal that we are only thinking about our immediate development of ourselves, our family, our society, our city, our state, our country, but those are not useful in a long-term way. Now, what is sustainable development? Sustainable development is the development that satisfies the needs of the present, that is present generation, without compromising the capacity of future generations, guaranteeing the balance between economic growth, care for the environment and social well-being. So, when we apply various procedures of sustainable development, then our society, our economic growth and everything is taken care of without compromising the future. Like for the future generations, we will have similar kind of atmosphere where they can thrive, where they can live a good life. So what is the importance of sustainable development? Now, economic development is using up resources of the world so quickly that our future generations the young people of the world would have serious environmental problems much worse than those that we are facing at the present. Now, as we are growing economically, we need to understand that in this process of development we are using so many natural resources, and those are consumed in a large volume and in a fast way that our future generations are feared to have no natural resources for them, say it be water, electricity, or many other natural resources, even for that matter soil. We are harming our soil so much that in our future generation, if we keep practicing all these pesticides and fertilizers, then they may not have a good fertile land to have a good vegetable crop. That is a real problem. So with increasing population and income, the consumption of goods is increasing day by day. As the population is increasing, and in that manner pollution is also increasing, and because of the increase in the population, there is lot of increase in the environmental problems and also consumption of the goods. This has led to increase in production and utilization of natural resources which are required for producing goods. So now, as the number of people are increasing, obviously their needs are increasing, people have become very much demanding, their paying capacity has improved, and people don't think while buying. While buying, one should think that even though I am able to pay currently for this thing, but is it really necessary, and is it really that needful, and is it sustainable, for how much time I am going to use this object. So we should improve our buying habits. Instead of wanting something, only the needful things should be bought, and in that manner the production of the things will also be thoughtful then. As we are producing lot of things on a mass volume, it is affecting our environment. It is using so much of the natural resources which are used up unnecessarily, because it is taking up lot of electricity, lot of manpower, lot of energy and everything. So people are using so many natural resources because of the increase in the production of various things. Society must thus change in development strategy to a new form where development will not destroy the environment. Our society should change their behavior in such a manner that this development should not affect our environment. This form of sustainable development can only be brought about if each individual practices a sustainable lifestyle. So basically we need to have a sustainable lifestyle. Now my dear students, you have understood what is meant by sustainable development. So you have to relate what is the meaning of sustainable lifestyle. A lifestyle which will satisfy our needs and which will also not harm the lifestyle of our future generations is called as the sustainable lifestyle. Since most of the natural resources are scarce, therefore careful utilization of resource is necessary. So we should be very careful while using our natural resources. Now, sustainable development is defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This we have already seen that the development should be in such a manner that it should satisfy our needs, but our future generations should not have to compromise about their day-to-day life, their lifestyle. Now for example, here one example is taken. Sustainable agriculture consists of environment-friendly methods of farming that allow the production of agricultural crops or livestock without damage to human or natural systems. So one example of sustainable agriculture can be what it can. We have to think about it. We have learnt about it and we are also going to see it in this lesson. So it also involves preventing the use of chemicals so as to avoid adverse effects to soil, water and biodiversity. So what it involves? Preventing the use of chemicals. So we should avoid use of chemicals, means fertilizers and pesticides, which is having adverse effects on our soil and water and also our biodiversity. We are damaging the natural flora and fauna which is there in our soil with the help of the chemicals, which is not a good sign. So now there are three problems related to sustainable development. Let us see those. Three major problems related to sustainable development are food, water and fuel. So the amount of rich fertile land needed to grow crops such as wheat, rice, etc. is becoming less as we are using up more and more land for other purposes. Soil nutrients are also getting depleted and lots of chemicals are spoiling the soil use due to use of chemical fertilizers. My dear children, you all are from the farming background, you all have seen the farms, and now we know that we are damaging the fertile land by making use of large amount of fertilizers and pesticides. So that is the problem related to food. We need to tackle it carefully. So for that purpose we should go for organic farming, I would say. Now next problem is water. We use lot of fresh water from rivers and ponds for drinking and cleaning, but dump garbage into them. The rivers and ponds are getting polluted because of that, and this way after several years we will have no clean water for our use. If we continue polluting the water resources, then what will happen in the near future? Maybe even for us or for our future generations, there will be no clean water for use. Now fuel. We are using a lot of wood from trees as fuels and for construction of homes and furniture. Yes, we are having wood furniture. Wood is also used for cooking somewhere. Wood is also used in the construction. So it is leading to deforestation. As more and more trees are being cut, it is affecting the climate. Obviously, less the number of trees, then it will also affect the water cycle, natural water cycle. Extreme weather conditions such as floods, extreme cold or heat are seen in many places which affect the people living there. So because of this change in the environment, because of the cutting of trees or deforestation, what is happening? There are drastic changes, extreme changes in the environment. People are experiencing floods, extreme cold or heat in some parts of the world. As environment friendly way for production of power is using solar energy or energy from the sun, which is unlimited. So an environment friendly way of production of power is solar energy. We all are aware of this. So one major example of large scale production of solar power is seen in Charanka. So it is in Gujarat Solar Park. This barren land, so it seems that there was a barren land in Gujarat, and it is now turned into a big project wherein they are able to produce lot of solar energy. Solar power plant is built up over there. So this barren land with wild vegetation has a mega solar plant of 600 megawatt. This has reduced the dependence on non-renewable fossil fuels in Gujarat, which is a very, very good solution. We should reduce our dependence on non-renewable energy resources, as if they get depleted, our life will get hampered in a very bad way. So this is one of the good example that in Gujarat, in Charanka, they are having a very big solar power plant, and because of that their dependence on non-renewable energy has reduced. Now the people of Charanka have benefited as they have a good source of income, and this will also help future generations in the next 40 to 50 years to come. Sustainable development includes. So this is going to help their future generations also. Now what is meant by sustainable development? Few points are given. Reducing excessive use of resources and enhancing resource conservation. So we can conserve the natural resources. It can be rainwater, it can be land, it can be fossil fuels, and we should avoid using it in an excessive manner. There should be a balance in our use and giving back to the nature. Recycling and reuse of waste materials. We should recycle, upcycle the material which we are having. Instead of constantly buying something new, we should believe and practice using up whatever we are already having. Scientific management of renewable resources, especially bioresources. So the bioresources should be scientifically managed and it should be well planned how to use them. Planting more trees is also one of the example of sustainable developments. Then green grassy patches and trees to be interspersed between concrete buildings. So whenever there are big concrete buildings, just like in the cities, there are so many townships and people are living there happily, but is there a balance between the number of concrete which we have built and are we giving back those many resources to the area around us? Are there sufficient number of trees in that society? Those things should be checked out before going on for big projects. So big grassy patches and trees to be interspersed. We should have big grassy patches in between the concrete buildings. Using more environment friendly material or biodegradable material. So instead of using plastic or paper cups, we can use pots. Yes, this example is given in your book. Use of technologies which are environmental friendly and based on efficient use of resources. So our technology use should be also only up to the limit of requirement. Nowadays we are using technology for anything. We are avoiding human efforts and we are using technology everywhere, which is in a manner very bad for our health also and also for the environment. Now sustainable development goals. The sustainable development goals are a universal call of action to end poverty. Now what are sustainable development goals? These are the goals which were formed by few countries together in the United Nations Summit, and there are 17 sustainable goals, development goals, which are formed by those countries, which are targeted to be achieved till 2030. So SDGs are a universal call of action to end poverty. Their mission is to end poverty from the world. Each and every person should be having a peaceful and good life. They want to protect the planet and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. People should live prosperously and they should also have peace in their life. So the Sustainable Development Goals were launched at the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit in New York in September 2015, forming the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. It has set targets that the countries have to work towards and achieve by 2030. So in this summit, it is said that the countries should plan and target to achieve those sustainable development goals by 2030. So now we are in 2020 and we should see whether all these kinds of goals can we see in our near about nature getting satisfied. The 17 SDGs have been made with the aim to take care of important issues facing businesses, governments and society. So these 17 sustainable development goals, those are made with the aim to take care of important issues faced by the different countries regarding businesses or the government and the society in those countries. Some of these issues are, the major issues are poverty, gender equality, water use, energy, climate change and biodiversity. Countries are now making policies and regulations that will promote sustainable systems needed in all economic sectors to provide a secure, affordable and sustainable economy. So now the countries are making policies and regulations that will promote sustainable systems needed in the economic sectors. So it is also meant for the purpose of security for our current situation and also for the future situation. It should be, the goals are thought to be affordable and sustainable for the economy. So what are those 17 sustainable goals, sustainable development goals? Those are given with the beautiful icons in front of you. See, the first one is no poverty. Second is zero hunger. Third one, good health and well-being. Fourth one, quality education. Fifth one, gender equality. Sixth one, clean water and sanitation. Seventh one, affordable and clean energy. Eighth one, decent work and economic growth. Students also see the icons which are used, those are also very meaningful. Ninth one, industry, innovation and infrastructure. 10th one, reduced inequalities. Inequalities in the terms of socio-economic culture. 11th, sustainable cities and communities. 12th is responsible consumption and production. See here in the 12th one, in the 12th goal, the sign is for recycling. So it is our responsibility to recycle the materials which we are able to recycle and also to produce the things which can be recycled and produced again. 13th one is climate action. 14th is life below water, that is marine life. 15th is life on land. 16th is peace, justice and strong institutions. And 17th is partnerships for the goals. So the countries will have to have few partnerships with each other to achieve these goals. The core skills required by a person who wants to contribute towards environment include environmental awareness and willingness to learn about sustainable development. So what are the core skills which are required by a person who want to be into this sustainable development plan? That person should be very much aware about the environment and also willing to learn about the sustainable development practices. If we are responsible about our life, then we will do our best at home, in school and at our workplace to help the environment and the people around us. So what is it saying? If we are responsible about our own life, if we take each and every action of ours as our own responsibility, then then we will be doing our best in our school, at our home or wherever we are working. Sustainable development initiatives. Now one example is given. What initiatives are taken as an example of sustainable development? Now when plastics were banned by the Municipal Corporation of Mangalore, many municipal corporations, they banned plastic, but here one example from Bangalore is taken where an innovator and entrepreneur, Mr. Avast Hedge, his name is Mr. Avast Hedge, who was living in Mangalore. He was an innovator. In the terms, he had found out a new idea which was innovative, which was new, and he worked out to create a product to be used by people, and that's why he became an entrepreneur, because he used a lot of creativity for that. So this person, Mr. Avast Hedge, he found an eco-friendly alternative of plastic. he made a 100% biodegradable bag which can dissolve in hot water and decompose in natural environment. So this is now being used in many countries and is going to help the environment. Unfortunately, though the name is from our India, I have not seen such kind of bag, but our book is telling us that it is being used in many countries, but why not our country has implemented to have such a beautiful product in everybody's life. So there are some pros and cons behind everything. So in that manner, maybe large scale production of such bag was not possible, and because of few factors it didn't become a popular item in our country. Another innovative idea was to stop the use of plastic spoons, forks, etc. Now again, this is also a very beautiful example, but unfortunately it is not being adopted on a grassroots level. So the example is about Mr. Narayan Pisapati. What he did, he made edible cutlery made out of a grain. So what did he made? Cutlery means spoons and forks which are edible, which people can eat. Once they have their food, after that they can also eat their spoons, and those spoons were made out of grains. So this was a really innovative idea, but these spoons can be eaten, and even if they are not eaten, they will easily decompose in the soil, enriching it. So even though people do not eat it, then if it is thrown somewhere, then too it will decompose and it will enrich the soil with its ingredients. But unfortunately again, this idea is not been implemented at a grassroots level. Means in our day-to-day life we are not able to see people using such kind of products. So that is the thing which we should think about, why it is happening like that. Sustainable processes. Some practices such as organic farming, vermicomposting and rainwater harvesting are being used to help preserve the environment. So these whatever names I took just now, that is organic farming, rainwater harvesting or vermicomposting, these are the examples of sustainable practices which help to preserve the environment. Organic farming is where farmers do not use chemical pesticides and fertilizers, but they use cow dung to increase their production. They use organic and natural fertilizers such as cow dung to help in growing crops. This helps in better quality chemical free crops while at the same time maintaining the soil quality for future use. But I don't know, now being from farming backgrounds, few of you can think why we are not using organic farming instead of the method of using chemical fertilizers and pesticides. What are the pros and cons behind it? That we have to think and write about it. This is a true example of sustainable development where we are not only using the earth resources but are also preserving it for our future generations. Okay. So in this manner we have finished our first session, and now let us see what are the practical exercises. The first is to plant a tree. So all of you just plant a tree and let it grow, have a seedling of it, and you will click a selfie with the seedling and send it to me, and you have to store it with you also. This is a practical exercise. You will have to take a color printout of it and paste it in your practical book. Okay. The second activity is discussion on how to prevent wastage. Now this is also a very good activity. In the school we would have enjoyed this activity, but now what you will be doing is you have to form groups depending on the number of students available. So what you will do, group of 4 or 5 students should be made, and you will call each other on maybe WhatsApp video call, or even a normal call can do, and you will discuss with your friends and write down few points about what are the ways of wasting of water and food, how it can be prevented. So ways of preventing food and water wastage. On this subject you will have to write few points in a group, and you will have to send it to me with the names of the students who have contributed in your writing. So this is also required. You will have to paste it in your practical book. You have to do this exercise and send it to me, as well as keep it for your record. Check your progress. You will do it on your own. Very simple exercises are given. So what we have learned in this session 1, what is meant by sustainable development, its definition we have seen, and what are the different goals of sustainable development. We have seen 17 goals of sustainable development decided by the various countries, and it is for the purpose of security of citizens of all the world. Here we will stop today, and in the next video we will see session number